First, the interesting thing I'm gonna do is when I got ready for this today, I had this like, brain thing and said, let me use Augie to tell the story versus me telling, setting the tone for this. So I'm gonna share the video that I did. And I'm one of the people who's, have very little video background. I didn't have a lot of my own video footage to use, but I used a lot of what they had. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm going to share sound. Share, and can you see my screen? Can you guys see?
Yes.
Cool, here we go.
If you have any doubts as to the power of AI in the events industry, it's time to cast them aside and embrace this incredible opportunity. I am super excited to talk about how POP Experiential is using AI to shake up the event and experiential space, and how we are using it not only in our regular agency practice, but with some industry colleagues, Ryan Costello of Event Farm and Audrey Hegwood, to develop the first event completely powered by AI. POP's CEO, Margaret Launzel-Pennes, Ryan, and Audrey jumped on a Zoom meeting on December 1st, a day after ChatGPT was unveiled. Curious explorers, they started to brainstorm about what this could mean to the events industry, an industry typically slow to adopt and embrace new things. They started to ideate around the concept of an event for the event industry completely powered by AI. What would it look like? Who would attend? What would the content be comprised of? Where should it be held? How could they get funding? As they were talking, they had an idea. What if they just started putting prompts into ChatGPT, which is exactly what they did. With very intentional prompting, they worked with ChatGPT, whom they now call Mikey, and Mikey went into action. It named the event Autonomous XP, suggested locations including Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Singapore, identified complementary or potentially competitive events, created attendee personas, created a messaging narrative, developed a full content outline supported by suggested tracks, sessions, and speakers, developed a full sponsorship prospectus including pricing and revenue expectations, devised a working budget, created a workback schedule, developed a marketing plan, pretty much everything. Allowing AI to do the heavy lifting in terms of research, analysis, and facilitate the creative process allowed the group to think strategically and took them down paths they likely wouldn't have considered. It was mind-blowing. A year and a half later, POP Experiential considers itself a master of the AI game and is using a plethora of AI tools to create new opportunities and avenues for its clients as they morph their own events and experiences in a fast-changing world. Margaret is also training sales, marketing, and event management teams on how to use it as a creative and strategic tool, not just for text and planning, but for logo development, graphic design and renders, video, and more. Stay tuned for dates and more info on Autonomous XP, and give us a shout if you'd like a session with Margaret and Mikey.
So there you have it. And it really did not take me that long. I mean, maybe an hour.
You're on your vacation. We just really want to know that you did this on your vacation.
I did it on my vacation. I did it. I'm in Spain right now. So, but Robin sort of followed my journey on this project, and it has opened up incredible opportunity for my team and I as an agency. The first thing when you're on the event side of things is people get very nervous about, AI taking their jobs, and they're not going to be relevant. And my whole thing is, if you don't learn it and you don't become a master at it, somebody's going to take your job from you that does have all of those tools. We find that it really opens up your mind to be strategic and creative, because the stuff that you used to Google and have to put all that stuff together, and then I've been in the industry a long time. At one point, there was no Google. Those kind of things that took forever are just now become more rote, easier to do, get all of the grunt work out of the way. And then, as it said in the video, it just takes you down paths that you hadn't thought of, and your mind just really open. So we use it for pretty much everything. I mean, we are a third party, right? So we have clients in everything from technology through furniture. And we don't have it create everything for us. We are very, very deliberate and intentional in terms of what are the objectives. what is the strategy? What should we be thinking about? What haven't we thought about? Who's out there doing something else? What are the best selling campaigns? And it gives us all of that information. And from there, we create and strategize concepts around that.
So I think Gigi has a list of all the tools that you use now, and it's probably really instructive. The one that baffles me is like the spread. I'm still not very good at the spreadsheet part of AI, like how to figure out pricing. I'm
Well, you can, I mean, you can do it in chat. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it'll do a whole spreadsheet. The whole thing about it really is, people say they use it, but it's really how you use it. The more you'll get out of AI what you put into it. The more specific you are, the more deliberate you are, the more detailed you are, the more background you give, the more attachments that you add, the more URLs you put in. Anything that you put in, it will take that information and craft it for you. So if part of that is, I have it helping me with budgets now, and we call it Mikey, Maikey, and it's sort of named after that Life cereal commercial kid. Will Mikey like it? So we sort of run it by Mikey. And, we'll say based on this information and this revenue strategy and these expenses that we are anticipating, please do a spreadsheet with a profit and loss over a 12-month period of time, and it will just do it for you. Now, you have to vet it, and you have to be sure that, it's making sense. And a lot of times what I find is when I don't get the right answer, it's because I didn't ask the right question. I also find that being very polite to Mikey is a very important thing. And the other thing I really love about it is it's sort of getting to know us, my team, is we do have it talks, it generates things in our voice. We like to be a little bit cheeky. So it will generate things in our voice. It will, we'll have these threads. It'll go back in and remind us of something that we wanted to do earlier. So it's just really incredible. And right now, I just finished. I was contracted by Visitors and Convention Bureau of Newport Beach to come in and train their sales, finance, and marketing teams. And they were blown away in terms of being able to generate RFPs, respond to RFPs, create a FAM trip, to figure out how much food and beverage would be needed, what transportation, how many hotel rooms. I mean, and then the finance people were like, how do they forecast, right? So we work through a whole dialogue around that. So there's simply nothing that you can't do. And it just makes you, smarter and brighter and happier and more nimble and more creative and more strategic. And I think it's an incredible time that we're in right now to be able to be experiencing this.